Visiting Minami.
One of my favorite things about visiting Minami is the high density of really high quality restaurants. I am yet to find a local eatery that's a flop. The other day, I went to get dinner with some of my dad's friends from the US, and they were confused by some of the customs. And that inspired me to make this segment today. I was like, oh, I can make content out of this. Thanks, Patrick. One thing you'll find in Japanese restaurants that might not be found in other countries, especially Western countries, are towels called oshibori. Oshibori towels can come hot or cold, but they all serve the same purpose, to wipe your hands when you sit at the table. Once you use it, you can fold it up and keep it on the table near your plate to continue using throughout your meal. When you're done eating, leave the oshibori towel on the table unless notified otherwise. Some restaurants, especially like ramen shops, have designated baskets to toss your hand towels. Speaking of baskets, you ever notice the one under your chair or next to the table at restaurants? These are for you to put your personal belongings in. This way, you don't have to put your bags on the floor. Water is always free, and if you want to refill on water, just tell the waiter, "Omizu kudasai." Omizu kudasai. Omizu is water, and kudasai is a polite way of saying give me. So if you want to refill on water, all you gotta say is "Omizu kudasai." When you go to a traditional Japanese restaurant, sometimes they have tatami mats. This style of seating is called ozaseki. Before entering, you must take off your shoes. Shoes on tatami mats is strictly forbidden. The proper way to sit at an ozaseki table is seiza. This is where you fold your legs directly underneath you and you put your body weight onto your heel. This can be really uncomfortable if you're not used to it and your legs will fall asleep. You can shift your feet off to the side so your butt is touching the floor in a kind of a relaxed seiza. This is a common way to sit for women. Men often sit cross-legged when they want to relax. The waiters are going to be super polite. Never be afraid to ask for assistance. However, most waiters will not be able to speak English, or at least know very little. But it is not their job to learn a new language. It's your job as a visitor to learn the local language before traveling. Let's finish off today's Visiting Minami with a Japanese lesson on words you will hear at restaurants. One word you might hear when you enter the shop is irashaimase. Irashaimase is just a way of saying welcome to our establishment, and you will hear this as you walk through the entry door. Itadakimasu is what you want to say before you eat a meal, and gochisou-sama deshita is what you say after you finish a meal. Both of these words, itadakimasu and gochisou-sama, is a part of Japanese culture that shows respect to the food and people who bring the food to their table. To order something, you can always use this handy trick, kore kudasai. Kore kudasai. Kore kudasai means I want this thing, so without having to learn too much Japanese, you can just learn that one phrase, point at something on the menu, and then lift your hands up to show how many of that thing you want. So do a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and say kore kudasai. Point at the menu, and then put your hands up to show how much you want, and boom, you just communicated with minimal language knowledge. Yay! So, kore kudasai, point. Put your fingers up to show how many you want. Biiru okawari onegai shimasu is what you want to say when you want a refill on beer. You can replace biiru with osake, lemon sour, highball, whatever you want. So, let's say highball. Highball okawari onegai shimasu. Osake okawari onegai shimasu. Okawari is a refill. Onegai shimasu is a very, very polite way of saying please. So let's go over all those words. Irashaimase, welcome to our shop. Itadakimasu, I'm going to eat this meal. Gochisou-sama deshita, just finish this meal. Kore kudasai, I want this thing. Biiru okawari onegai shimasu. More beer, please. Bless, bless. Of course, you don't need to jam-pack all of this information when traveling. Just have some background knowledge on the culture and language and learn the rest during your trip. What's important is to not be entitled and be open to making mistakes and keep your brain flexible to new experiences. Most importantly, have fun, enjoy yourself, and eat all the takoyaki and okonomiyaki you can stomach during your visit to Minami.